The one who dares to look into the abyss must be ready for the abyss to look back into him, for only in confronting darkness does a person discover the hidden shape of his own soul. Strength is not in avoiding suffering but in transforming it into power, for every wound can become a source of new becoming if one refuses to bow before pain. The mind that questions everything is the only mind that truly lives, because certainty is the quiet graveyard where all growth goes to die. He who follows the herd will never discover his own path, for individuality demands the courage to step away from familiar voices and into the wilderness of the self. The greatest victories are not over others but over our own weaknesses, for the enemy within is far more cunning and persistent than any external foe. The world belongs to those who create themselves anew each day, because identity is not a gift but a continual act of will. One must be willing to break the chains of old beliefs, for nothing imprisons a person more tightly than ideas inherited without examination. To seek truth is to risk loneliness, because the crowd despises anyone who refuses to repeat its comfortable illusions. Every great idea begins as a rebellion against something accepted as eternal, yet nothing is eternal except change itself. The spirit that rises refuses to be comforted by small hopes, it desires the mountain peak where air is thin and the cost of breathing is greatness. Suffering is the raw material of transformation, for no one becomes strong in comfort. The heart that has endured storms understands life more deeply than the one that has lived in safe harbors. He who has a why to live for can survive almost anyhow, for purpose turns agony into fuel and despair into direction. Do not seek a life without struggle, seek a struggle worthy of your life. The chains you fear are often forged by your own hands, because self-doubt is a more merciless jailer than fate. The bold spirit must learn to outgrow even its own victories, for what once made you strong can later make you stagnant if you cling to it too long. Do not worship your past selves, create new ones that surpass them. A person becomes free when they stop seeking approval, for the desire to please others is the most subtle form of slavery. Your worth is not measured by how many agree with you but by how unwaveringly you stand for the truth you have discovered. The individual who thinks independently will always appear dangerous to those who fear freedom. Life is a question asked to your will you rise or retreat? Every day demands an answer. Greatness begins the moment you refuse to let fear dictate your decisions. Fear is a liar that whispers of safety while stealing your potential. Courage is not the absence of fear but the mastery of it, the decision to move forward despite trembling hands. What you avoid controls you, what you confront transforms you. Do not wait for the perfect moment, create it through decisive action. The world respects only those who respect themselves, for dignity is not something given but something asserted. The person who knows their worth does not beg, they build. Your life is shaped more by the battles you choose not to fight than by the ones you win, for wisdom is knowing where to direct your strength. Do not waste your fire on small conflicts, save it for the mountains that matter. A disciplined spirit is a powerful weapon, but an undisciplined one is the architect of its own downfall. To think deeply is to disturb the peace of your own mind, for truth seldom arrives with comfort. Many people avoid themselves by drowning in noise, distraction, and trivialities, because silence forces an encounter with the unresolved parts of the soul. He who dares to be silent learns to hear the voice beneath all voices, the voice of becoming. The greatest journeys are inward, and they demand more courage than crossing oceans. A person who conquers their inner chaos can navigate any storm outside. Love, too, is a test of strength, for to love deeply is to expose oneself to pain. Only a strong spirit can love without losing itself. Weak affection clings, strong affection liberates. A relationship is not two people completing each other but two complete individuals choosing to walk alongside each other without surrendering their essence. Where there is possession, there is fear. Where there is genuine love, there is freedom. The heart must be strong enough to remain open even after wounds. He who becomes what he truly is steps into a realm where few dare to follow, for authenticity demands the sacrifice of all masks. Most people prefer to be a reflection of others rather than the creator of their own identity. Do not live as a shadow. Become the sun that casts it. Your potential is not a distant dream but a responsibility. Becoming less than what you can be is the only true failure. The future belongs to those who shape it with the hammer of their will. The thinker who refuses to conform becomes a mirror in which others see their own limitations, and this is why they resist him. Genius is not celebrated in its time because it exposes the mediocrity of the age. Do not seek applause, seek authenticity. Applause is fleeting, but truth endures. Your task is not to be understood but to be real. Time will reveal what was invisible to the crowd. Every dream demands a price, and the currency is always discipline, sacrifice, and solitude. The higher the dream, the higher the cost. Many desire greatness, but few are willing to endure the loneliness that accompanies it. The mountain peak never hosts crowds, only climbers. If you cannot endure the climb, you will never see the sunrise reserved for those who kept going. Hardship is not an obstacle but a gatekeeper that asks, how badly do you want it? The strongest people are those who have learned to dance with their pain, for they transform suffering into music. Weakness complains, strength creates. A resilient spirit does not seek an easy life but a meaningful one. Meaning is crafted, not found. It is forged through trials, failures, and relentless self-overcoming. If you desire comfort, you will shrink. If you desire growth, you will rise.